I was reading more on the web and looking into some of the traits of autistic people and aspies, and getting more knowledge on it. And they had some programs on who might be really famous aspies. And I started to put together a list of some of the social miscues in that, like rigidity in thinking, not getting all the social cues, not being able to, utter the polite lie, do I look fat in this kind of, well, no, not really. And some of all the other traits that they point out that might be autistic or be an aspie. Even though the person may be well-spoken, they may have these other traits, like, in some languages, what people call stimming is just naturally you talk with your hands. And actually the sign language people always talk with their hands. And it got me to thinking, well, in one sense, Jesus would be an aspie by some of his traits. He didn't have a lot of friends. He was rigid in his thinking. He didn't follow the social cues. I mean, if a psychologist was just looking at him without knowing who he was today, they might label him aspie too, or a high-functioning autism. And that's what comes to mind when I hear some of these lists of, well, the child doesn't spontaneously share what they have. It's like, well, there are other people, adults, that don't spontaneously share stuff either. And it just got me to thinking, if Jesus could be classified as an aspie because he fits actually some of the things that people say, and we've got all these other famous people that could fit that too, doesn't seem like much of a disease or much of a syndrome. It just seems more like the label people are putting on people today if they don't fit in. So the most famous aspie might be Jesus himself. and according to the Bible, he was perfect. So what's wrong with some of those traits? Just makes you think.